The digestive system. Try to imagine yourself sitting at lunch while enjoying your milk tea, fruits, burger, and fries given by your jowa after your love quarrel. What happens to all those food when you eat them? How do those delicious foods inside your body and go out as a smelly and weird-looking substance? Well, let's take a tour inside our digestive system to find out. In a nutshell, our digestive system is the one that processes all of the food that we take, absorbs all the nutrients that were broken down, and excretes those food components that are indigestible. We are going to focus on its ability to accomplish 6 major activities: ingestion, propulsion, mechanical digestion, chemical digestion, absorption, and defecation. Ingestion refers to the entry of food into the alimentary canal through the mouth. Propulsion is the voluntary process of swallowing and involuntary process of peristalsis that moves food through the digestive tract. Digestion is when biomolecules are broken down physically or chemically into building blocks. In absorption, nutrients are absorbed for energy, growth, and cell repair. Lastly, in defecation, waste or ingested substances will be removed and excreted. Question: what are the substances in food that must be chemically digested? It includes carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. Carbohydrates must be broken down into simple sugars, proteins into amino acids, lipids into fatty acids and glycerol, and nucleic acids into nitrogen bases and sugars. The whole digestive system process begins with that delicious food that you have. That food is brought into the mouth for ingestion and digestion. Saliva enzymes called salivary amylase can start to break down complex food molecules into their chemical building blocks. This is in the form of chemical digestion. The saliva also lubricates the food so that the tongue can easily shape that food into a little ball called a bolus. The bolus will be swallowed down the esophagus, epiglottis, which folds over your windpipe or trachea as you swallow to prevent that food from growing into your trachea. A series of involuntary muscular contractions within the esophagus called peristalsis delivers food to your stomach. At the bottom of your esophagus, a ring-like muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter has to relax to let the food pass into the stomach. The sphincter then contracts and prevents the contents of the stomach from flowing back into the esophagus. The stomach is a hollow organ or container that is very acidic because it contains hydrochloric acid that ranges from 1 to 3 pH level. Chemical digestion definitely occurs here with the stomach's gastric juices and enzymes that continue the process of breaking down food into a usable form. When the contents of the stomach are processed enough, they are released into the small intestines as chymes. The chymes are going to pass through a second sphincter that is located between the end part of the stomach and the opening of the intestines. The small intestine is a 22-foot long muscular tube that breaks down food using digestive juices released from other organs such as enzymes from the small intestine and bile from the liver segments. The duodenum also works in this organ. The duodenum is the first segment of the small juices from the pancreas, largely responsible for the continuous breaking down process. The jejunum and ileum are located in the lower part of the intestine that is mainly responsible for absorption of nutrients into the bloodstream. Speaking of absorption, it is now time to absorb all of those digested nutrients. There are a lot of nutrients that could be absorbed in the small intestine. Examples are amino acids from proteins, glucose and fructose from carbohydrates, lipids from fatty acids, electrolytes, vitamins, and etc. Villi. And the villi themselves have microvilli. They're also vascular, meaning they have capillaries running through them. Contents of the small intestine start out semi-solid and end in a liquid form after passing through the organ. Water, bile, enzymes, and mucus contribute to the change in consistency. Once the nutrients have been absorbed and the leftover food residue liquid has passed through the small intestine, it then moves on to the large intestine. Harmless and beneficial bacteria in our bodies. The main function of it is to absorb water, so that the body will not lose all of its water involved in digestion. It is also responsible for processing waste so that emptying the bowels is easy and convenient. Left over from the digestive process is passed through the colon by means of peristalsis, first in a liquid state and ultimately in a solid form. Feces are then stored in the sigmoid colon until a mass movement empties it into the rectum, composed of food debris and other substances, including the bacteria that we mentioned earlier. When the descending colon becomes full of feces or stool, it empties its contents into the rectum to begin the process of elimination. I have mentioned some accessory digestive organs earlier, like the teeth, salivary glands, pancreas, liver, and gallbladder. They are not mere accessory, like their name implies. They do have important functions in the digestive system. The teeth help grind food. The salivary glands produce saliva. The pancreas secretes pancreatic juices that contains digestive enzymes that will neutralize the acid chyme. The liver processes the nutrients absorbed from the small intestine and also produces bile to digest important fats or lipids and some vitamins. The gallbladder stores and concentrates that bile from the liver. Understanding our amazing human digestive system helps us better understand how this system works and how to help it when it doesn't function as it should. Before we end this video, I just want to leave you with an interesting question. What happens to water when we drink or take them into our body? Will the process be similar to the digestive system? Tune in to the next video to find out.